The heiress they tried to erase. My name is Madison Carter, and this is the story of how my own family tried to erase me. For years, outsiders looked at us as the perfect American dynasty, the Carters of Maplewood Lane, a mansion with white columns, a fountain in the driveway, and neighbors who whispered about our wealth with envy in their voices. But the truth behind those walls wasn't perfection. It was poison. It all began the summer after my 28th birthday. I came back to the Carter estate, suitcase in hand, believing time might have softened old wounds. Instead, I was greeted with silence. Then the cold stare of my mother, Eleanor. "You're not welcome here," she said, her voice colder than the marble floor beneath my feet. My father, Richard, appeared behind her. His words cut like a blade. "You are no longer part of this family, Madison. Don't come back." The heavy oak door slammed, and just like that, I was gone, erased as if I had never been their daughter. I stood frozen on the porch, staring at the house that had raised me, now spitting me out like a stranger. Months passed. I tried to move forward. Small apartment, long hours at work, pretending I didn't care. But whispers started reaching me. My family was fighting bitterly over money, property, and the Carter Trust Fund. And my name, written into that trust, had become their greatest obstacle. Then came the letter. A lawsuit. My parents were demanding I sign away my rights. At first, I laughed. Then I cried. Then I realized the truth. They weren't just disowning me. They wanted to erase me from their empire entirely. And this time, I wouldn't let them. I hired a lawyer. Courtroom battles began. My parents sat across from me, polished and perfect, painting me as the ungrateful daughter, the family disgrace. But with each hearing, cracks began to show. Hidden accounts, missing funds, charities that never existed. The Carter Empire wasn't built on brilliance, it was built on fraud. And the only way to protect their empire was to bury me. One night, as I left the courthouse, I noticed a black car idling too long across the street. A week later, my tires were slashed. Then came the note slipped under my door. "This isn't over." Fear clawed at me, but I refused to break. And then my brother, Jason, appeared, pale, nervous, chain-smoking like the boy I remembered before our father hardened him. "They're desperate, Madison," he whispered. "Dad's calling people. Dangerous people. If you don't walk away, you'll regret it." His words didn't scare me. They lit a fire inside me. I dug deeper. Bank records, offshore accounts, signed statements from employees who had been silenced for years. Piece by piece, the Carter Empire unraveled in my hands. And when I had enough, I went back to the house. The mansion looked exactly the same. Perfect hedges, glittering windows, the illusion of power. But this time, I wasn't a begging daughter. I was their reckoning. I walked into the dining room, uninvited, where my parents sat with their lawyers. Crystal glasses trembled in their hands as I dropped a thick folder onto the table. "This ends tonight," I said, my voice steady. "Sign these, confess, or I go public." My father slammed his fist on the table, his face crimson. "You wouldn't dare." I leaned closer, meeting his glare with ice. "I already have." His jaw slackened. My mother gasped, her wine glass shattering against the marble. Because it was true. Every document, every crime, every betrayal was already in the hands of journalists and investigators. That night, as red and blue lights flashed across the Carter estate, I stood once more in the doorway where they had erased me. Officers led my parents away, their empire collapsing brick by brick. My mother's voice cracked as she called out through tears. "Madison, we're family." I shook my head, a bitter smile on my lips. "No, family doesn't destroy you to save themselves. I gestured to the chaos around us. "This is what you built, and now it's what you lose." I turned and walked into the night, my heels echoing on the marble, not once looking back. The next morning, headlines screamed across every paper. Carter Empire collapses, heiress exposes family scandal. Neighbors whispered. Strangers stared, but I didn't feel shame. For the first time in my life, I felt free because revenge isn't always fire. Sometimes it's ice, slow, cold, unstoppable. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see the broken daughter they had erased. I saw the woman who survived them, the heiress they tried to erase.